The gorilla could smell the danger in the lake, but he deliberately invited King Kong to take a shower. How could King Kong be fooled by this little trick? He only sniffed the scent of the water. He knew he'd have his lunch, so he went straight into the lake to take a bath. The little gorilla was afraid of being exposed, drinking from the lake as if he were calm. But then the lake suddenly ripples. An unknown creature is swimming towards them. Although King Kong had already noticed it, but he was still surprised by the huge creature. There's a dragon in the lake. The young gorilla fled as soon as he saw his success, leaving King Kong to fight the dragon. Although King Kong is known as the god of war, but this is in the water after all. The next moment he was dragged into the lake by the dragon. But how could the dragon realize how terrifying King Kong is when he's angry? The young gorilla was still in the joy of escaping. Unexpectedly, he was hit by the battle axe in the next second. Before he could catch his breath, another auger head flew over. The little gorilla thought he was going to be violently beaten, but King Kong didn't do anything this time, just picked up the battle axe and let him continue to lead the way. But the closer they got to the center of the earth, the aura of danger grew thicker and thicker, until they came to the depths of the earth's core. King Kong just realized the horror of this place. Countless orangutans have been enslaved here. They have to do hard labor every day. This scene made King Kong shudder a little, although he found his own tribe. But I didn't expect them to be so miserable. The old gorillas were beaten by the administrators. He was beaten up by the manager. This was all seen by King Kong. The next second, the battle axe landed in front of the old gorilla, although he helped him up. But it was met with the manager's displeasure. He immediately cursed at King Kong, threatening him to mind his own business. But as soon as the words left his mouth, the administrator directly fell back to sleep. Vajra's presence gave the pack hope, but that hope was short-lived, because there was another terrible presence here. The leader of the pack, Scar King. He leaps from his throne. Countless apes have fallen to their knees, but strangely enough, Scar King didn't do anything directly. Instead, he ripped open King Kong's mouth, and upon seeing his newly installed steel teeth, directly let out a burst of ridicule. He didn't seem to care about King Kong at all. He even wanted to execute the young gorilla who led the way. Luckily, an old gorilla was there to protect him, and kept pleading with Scar King on his behalf. He thought Scar King would stop, but he kicked the old gorilla into the lava, and it was this act that enraged King Kong. But Scar King was undaunted, because this was his chance to make a statement. Once King Kong is eliminated, these slaves will be obedient, and with the Bone Whip's long-distance attack, King Kong will gradually fall into a disadvantage.